why would I do DECA, or in my opinion, the other steroid I inject, meant to bulk, when I got such good results with this injectable SARM, but more importantly, it felt like I could tolerate it. I didn't feel like death 24/7. What is up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Today's ASMR sip is Pellegrino, because fuck microplastics. We drink out of glass here. ASMR Spritz Intelligent Iron. Buy it to smell it. Google Ryan Russo Linktree if you want to support this shadow band content. Like and comment, as well as subscribe with the bell on. Who knows if the bell works, but subscribe, then hit the bell. I will be going into the top 5 strongest SARMs. I have Andrew, who already edited the weakest SARMs. So if you're looking for health span, you know, I don't want to truly fuck up my health. You know, I'm on HRT, TRT. I'm not after crazy high performance Russo. Watch that video. This is the opposite video, because there's been a lot of random hatred around SARMs because a certain research chem company, and by all means Google Ryan Russo Linktree, but a certain research chem company doesn't carry SARMs, so there has been propaganda going around blatantly on them being useless. Which, if you're gonna make the comment, oh well, there's monetary value attached to SARMs for Russo, yeah, there's also monetary value attached to steroids. I've used both. I'm a partner of a TRT clinic, and I've used both forever. I'm not here to lie. I like certain steroids over certain SARMs. I like certain SARMs over certain steroids. I think at the end of the day, they're all synthetic androgens operating in the androgen pathway. As far as some of them being dangerous, I could argue that a lot of these steroids are dangerous. And for example, Superdrol caused tons of death when it was publicly available from the liver toxicity people ignored. You wouldn't see tons of liver death with SARMs because they are being widely abused as we speak. They have less side effects most likely, but we are venturing into the category of high performance with SARMs, meaning I've already made my video take on what I think about SARMs and how they shine, which I have Andrew reference in this video. So yeah, go watch that video as well as the weakest SARMs video, but I've already made my takes. This is for the high performance shit that is aimed towards bodybuilders. They don't give a fuck about their health. They know their health skin fucked up. They want to play around with SARMs. They've been on gear forever. I'll also have Andrew, I love how I'm making this all hodgepodge. I'll have Andrew throw in my Inject YK11 video. So yeah, that was like the biggest guy in my gym blown away by Injectable YK11. I had another competitor, I think, I'm not going to bring up his comment, but he also was blown away by Injectable YK11 and was using serious gear cycles before it. So I wanted to go into the strongest SARMs if you are a heavy gear user and you're like, all SARMs suck. I may change your mind. I would love your comment in the comment section. You can feel free to argue back and forth. Again, it's always a war zone here and everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I do not delete comments. However, the YouTube comment system sometimes does break. Coming in at the first SARM that I think is stupid powerful is RAD140, and I will put slash RAD150. This is the top MMA abuse SARM. Dense, hard, dry look, virtually no water retention, really good for powerlifting, doesn't visually change you other than make you denser, meaning you don't look all juiced up on it. You have a quote unquote half natty look, increases aggression like crazy, super long stable half-life, binds to the androgen receptor probably at the same strength if not more as dihydrotestosterone DHT, which is the main androgen of the body, which opens up tons of issues around doing these hybrid cycles. Meaning if you're injecting testosterone as a base, which you should, meaning if you're going to switch your body onto RAD140, you still want DHT in there as a primary androgen, and you more importantly need estrogen, because SARMs don't convert to DHT or estrogen. But you don't want to overdo the testosterone dosage because the testosterone will get beat to the androgen receptor by these SARMs. That's how fucking strong they are. A lot of dudes like steroids because they do other shit in the body besides just docking to the AR. SARMs only dock to the AR, and the certain SARMs I'm talking about in this video are some of the craziest fucking androgens you can put in your body. So RAD 140 is going to increase mental aggression. You're going to have increased endurance, everything a fighter wants. No water retention. Your muscles don't get super pumped up and you fatigue. No. Hardens, dense, pit bull mind. Boom, great for powerlifting. Significantly strong, increases your basal metabolic rate like crazy, so you can increase food intake. If you combine this with a GH pathway, you're going to build a great dry physique. That's number one. I would consider that SARM extremely fucking strong, not mild, not for beginners. I would consider it something that a legitimate open IFBB pro, anything, could utilize cruising in the off season and or right before a prep cycle, and they would notice a pretty significant difference. It's one of the tried and true ones, no weird side effects as far as vision goes, but it's going to obliterate your cholesterol. You might see some liver toxicity, and it's for sure going to impact your blood pressure because you are skyrocketing your central nervous system, right? You're getting the strength benefits of it, but it might be harder to sleep. You might have the dopaminergic drive stimulatory effect of having RAD binding like crazy. That's number one. The next one, S23. Let's take RAD and put it on fucking steroids and make the half-life 6 hours. That's S23. S23 was developed as a male contraceptive, meaning it's that powerful of an androgen that your brain goes, oh fuck, and immediately shuts the testicles off unless you're manually controlling it with follicle-stimulating hormone mimetics or luteinizing hormone mimetics. Meaning, if you want your balls to stay on, my semen turns clear, fucking clear nothingness on S23 unless I add in HCG, HMG, or RFSH to offset it. That's how powerful S23 is as far as an effect it will do to your semen volume within 3 days. It's truly one of the craziest pre-workout orals that doesn't leave my blood pressure fucked for the rest of the day. Nobody talk, like, I'm not gonna lie. The fucking oral steroids are great. The way I feel on the oral steroids puts me on really powerful oral SARMs. I feel like death after a couple of days of Anadrol. I feel like death after a couple of days of Superdrol. I feel like I can tolerate S23, which pushes my mind in the gym to create higher strength volume, which moves my physique along. Slow and steady wins the race, and I don't feel like shit. My blood pressure doesn't go to shit. It's 6 hours and leaves my body, so my body's not hyperstimulated the whole day. It's only hyperstimulated when I need to push myself in the gym. S23 is crazy, crazy. It's a full, dry, hard, dense look, and it will obliterate any other androgen to the AR, meaning that you just need a little bit amount of test. You need a little bit. You should be focusing in the GH pathway if you want to spend more money. You know, it's one of those SARMs where if you don't feel 40, 50 milligrams of S23 pre-workout and be like, yo, this is up there, then I question your ability to be biased. You know, like you are definitely an old gearhead. Just, oh, back in my day, this is all we used, testosterone, all these new SARMs, all exotic steroid doohickeys, they're not the real thing. Like, you're a boomer. S23 at 40, 50 milligrams a day is batshit fucking insane. I'm sorry. I normally dose 20 because by the time I crept up to 40, I was getting smaller because my basal metabolic rate was eating through all the calories I was eating. I was going backwards. That's how powerful the androgen was. The next androgen, YK11. I've made tons of content. I personally documented it. I've had every fucking crazy mass monster come up to me, jaw dropped, about injectable YK11 and or oral YK11. It seems to have some myostatin inhibiting effect shown in test tube studies. Do I know if that reflects in the body? No. Do I get weird effects of YK11? Yeah, I get a crazy dry look. I get absolutely bonkers fucking aggression as if I took it crazy powerful orals. I notice that my basal metabolic rate increases like crazy. It feels like a fucking DHT. I get hair loss. I personally get so strong in the gym that I'm afraid to see where the strength is at because I'm worried about my ligaments and tendons keeping up with my muscles. And it's like one of those things where, yeah, YK11 slots into all the other heavy hitters. I'm going to leave with the most powerful SARM that I might document again, just to prove my point. The craziest look I have ever created on this channel, if you're just stopping in, was 350 milligrams of Sustanon a week, 50 to 75 milligrams of LGD, 4033 injectable. The oral administration and injectable administration of LGD 4033, based on my experience and other people's experiences, is completely different. S23 oral bioavailability is almost as good as injectable. It'd be useless to inject S23. It is not useless to inject LGD 4033. In fact, this may be one, if not the best, craziest bulking androgen I have ever seen above 50 milligrams a day injected. It's at a point where I'm like, all right, the androgen pathway is maxed out. I should be looking at the GH pathway, myostatin pathway, local growth factors, inflammation pathway. I should be looking at all these other pathways, diet, obviously, instead of just adding more androgens because the LGD maxed me out that bad. I've never felt that freaking strong. I've never felt that apex predator, ever. And I was able to tolerate that cycle forever. I was able to sit there, not be lethargic. Oh, the anadrol is hitting. I can't eat again. I need to use GHRP6. I need to use 677 to override it. Oh, the super draw. I'm holding my liver walking out. None of that. My cholesterol got obliterated. Sure. It was like I was using a fucking blast. I knew I was using a blast. I was willing to take the damage, but the results I got were insane. I kept that baseline physique. I mixed it with a bunch of GH protocol stuff, and it worked out to a point where I'm like, why would I do DECA, or in my opinion, the other steroid I inject, meant to bulk, when I got such good results with this injectable SARM, but more importantly, it felt like I could tolerate it. I didn't feel like death 24/7. That's the only point I'm making, is like, you could do a little bit of test to maintain your estrogen. You could do HCG, HMG on top of that. You could do 677 or GHRP6. You could do a little bit of, you could do arachidonic acid, injectable LGD 4033, scale that to the moon as much as you can tolerate. And then I don't see you not getting the results you want. I don't see you going, oh, SARMs don't work. It becomes a food calculator of, damn, I am going flat, eating 6,000 fucking calories a day. I need more food, 8,000 calories a day. My body was still able to eat it. All those vlogs, which are publicly documented in video format where you see my physique blow up, it was binging every day. I was eating as much as I could at that age. I skyrocketed at 250 pounds with veins. I'm not saying big ass gear cycles don't work. I'm saying like that hybrid cycle reevaluated what I thought of my physique. It reevaluated of the physique I thought I could achieve. It truly is one of those top cycles. And I've blasted MPP, I blasted Trent, I blasted Mint. That was the cycle that worked out the best that I could tolerate, and I got crazy results. So if you think injectable LGD 4033 at above 50 milligrams a day isn't comparable to the rest of the top arsenal you pick from in Olfin IFBB if you're creating cycles, I question your authority. I question your intelligence. I question you to try that and prove me wrong by video documenting you doing that cycle and gaining nothing. I already know why K11's goated. I already know S23's goated. Not because it's coming out of my mouth, because big roid dudes with better genetics than me, that have been doing this longer than me, that have doubted SARMs, come to me in the DM box and they say I'm the first person to convince them to try YK11. After they tried it, they see what I'm blabbering on about, and they keep it as a staple. They keep S23 as a staple. They keep RD140 in their off season as a staple. But the thing I want to draw a conclusion to is injectable LGD 4033 is no fucking joke. Don't play me. It is my current best cycle video document on this channel. I'm not saying I won't beat that with a traditional gear cycle of multiple grams. I'm saying for the amount of milligrams I injected of that SARM, with the minuscule test base, people were coming up to me in the gym going, what did you do this time? It actually is working. You know, like the big dudes in the gym are like, all right, what's Russo doing this time? Because I was constantly fucking around, being the SARM goblin, looking half natty, blah, blah, blah. That all stopped with that injectable LGD in the gym. Everyone came up to me. Then everyone's asking me about injectable YK. Then everyone's asking me injectable LGD. That changed the perception of all the minds around me that saw my physique the entire time I built it. The entire time I built it, I trained the same fucking LA Fitness the entire time. Everyone noticed that cycle. The main androgen of that cycle was injectable LGD 4033. I'll see you guys in my next video.